Election Premier League with me, Priya Bahel, on Times Now. Viewers, the battle lines have been drawn. Stakes have never been higher. Welcome to Election Premier League. 4 states, 1 union territory and 1 big verdict. And the entire country watching closely for the developments. From the heartland to the hustings, this is where the political contest will be shaped. Times Now is on ground zero with its biggest team of reporters, bringing you every development, every political shift, every key moment. We track the voters' pulse, we track the mood on the ground, and we bring you the story as it unfolds. And today, we start from Tamil Nadu, where the AIADMK is also going to start. What are they starting? They're starting their campaign for the upcoming assembly elections with party chief Edappadi Palanisamy all set to launch it from Chennai's Mylapore this evening. The AIADMK has also released its first list of 23 candidates, most of them former ministers, while EPS will once again contest from his home turf, Edappadi. AIADMK says that EPS is carrying forward the legacy of J. Jayalalitha and adds that he is going to highlight what the party calls DMK's unfulfilled promises, corruption and law and order concerns. The DMK, however, disagrees completely. They say that several welfare schemes were discontinued during EPS's tenure and accuse the AIADMK of mismanaging state's finances.
DMK General Secretary Edappadi K. Palanisamy is going to launch his campaign from the Mylapore Assembly constituency in Chennai today. So he'll be travelling to almost all the districts in Tamil Nadu, and he'll be campaigning for the ADMK's own candidates and also the Alliance Party candidates in the coming days. But meanwhile, the ADMK has also released its first list of candidates today with 23 names. And joining us now for conversation on this is ADMK leader Singai Ramachandran. Sir, today Mr. Edappadi Palanisamy is going to launch his campaign officially. What is going to be the motto of this campaign? What will be the message that is going to be delivered by Mr. EPS that will attract the voters?
Honorable Purachi Tamilar Edappadiar is taking Amma's legacy by taking an edge in election. If you look how Amma used to operate during elections, she used to announce the manifesto first, she used to announce the candidate list first. She was always ahead, and as a successor of Purachi Talavi Amma, we are all happy that he is also following the same path. Specifically, he is going to question the manifesto points that DMK has announced and the things they have not done. The law and order issue that is bothering the people today, and how DMK government failed in the last 5 years to address it.
This gentleman does not have any credibility, who Edappadi. No one listens to what Edappadi says, because even in 2016 to 21, in his regime, most of the schemes launched by Jayalalitha madam were stopped under Edappadi. Example, laptop scheme, two-wheeler scheme. In fact, he ruined the finances so much, even the pension could not be paid. Even the Taliku Tangam scheme which Jayalalitha madam was giving was stopped by Edappadi. So how will they trust him? But on the contrary, my government has not just delivered what we promised, we have also introduced schemes that we have not promised. Some of the schemes like Non-Pudovan, Pudhimai Pen Thittam are serving as an example for the rest of the country to emulate. There is no manifesto without such schemes. And that's empowering women. Even the 5,000 is given in February. That is empowering women and also propelling Tamil Nadu's GDP. Similarly, Tamil Nadu is the fastest growing state in the country now.
Tarini, why Mylapore? Why has this constituency in particular been chosen for kickstarting the campaign?
When we speak to the ADMK leaders here in Tamil Nadu, they say that Edappadi Palanisamy wanted to launch his campaign today because today is considered to be an auspicious day. From Mylapore here in Chennai, you can see in the visuals over here, hundreds of people from Mylapore and the surrounding areas, they've already come to the location to witness this massive campaign by Edappadi K. Palanisamy. EPS is yet to arrive at the location, but in the location we can see hundreds of people carrying the ADMK flag in their hands, and in fact we also have colorful dance programs and colorful events going on here to keep the people entertained until EPS reaches the location. So talking about the ADMK's preparedness, the ADMK released its manifesto yesterday for the upcoming assembly elections, and we could see a lot of attractive announcements in the ADMK manifesto. ADMK has told that they will be providing one refrigerator free for all families in Tamil Nadu, and a one-time credit of rupees 10,000 will be given to all the ration card holding families is what they've told. And monitoring.
Dharini, while you're there, there's a lot of ambience noise. One can understand elections in Tamil Nadu tend to be extremely colorful, full of sound and music. But isn't Mylapore also one of the seats that BJP has also set its eyes on in the seat sharing tussle? Do we know? Do we have any more clarity on that front? And whose quota is this seat?
Interestingly, today, as we know, Edapadi Palaniswamy is launching his campaign from Mylapore, but this very same Mylapore Assembly constituency has been allocated for the ADMK's ally, the Bharatiya Janata Party. So apart from Mylapore, the BJP has got 26 other constituencies from various parts of Tamil Nadu. This includes Ooty, Avinashi, Tirupur South, Coimbatore North, etc.
Very interesting that AIADMK chooses to kickstart its campaign from a seat that has actually gone to BJP's quota. What sort of signaling that is going to be in the larger political context? We'll keep an eye out for that. But thank you, Dharini, for joining us. We shift our focus now to another very tight contest, and that is in West Bengal. 2026 elections are knocking on our doors and the political temperatures are rising fast, but nowhere are they rising faster than in the high-stakes battle constituency of Bhabanipur. Long considered to be the stronghold of Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. On one side is the state chief minister, and on the other side is leader of opposition Suvendu Adhikari, who has thrown down a direct challenge, turning the seat into an ultimate prestige fight. My colleague Ridhita is on the ground on Bhabanipur, and our focus is on one particular ward that could prove to be the game changer.
2026 elections are knocking on the door with the political temperature soaring high in Bengal. At one point when we are seeing that Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is going to contest in the Bhabanipur seat, on the other side we see that the leader of opposition has thrown her a challenge on this very seat itself. Therefore, the high voltage seat is going to be the Bhabanipur constituency. At this point we are standing here at Bhabanipur and we will get you a report card of the Janta Janardhan. What is the people of Bhabanipur saying? Are they happy with the 15 years of Unnayan, or are they looking for a parivartan? Because in 2021 we had seen that the Trinamool Congress party has made a clean green sweep out here in Bhabanipur. However, in 2024 we have also seen that BJP has led by 5 seats here in the Bhabanipur constituency. So what is the 2026 going to look like? That is what people of Bhabanipur is going to decide.
Basic sentiments of the people of this state, now they feel that a change should be there, because other states of India, they are progressing very fast, and now residents of this state, they are feeling that we are left behind. So this kind of feeling, this FOMO feeling is obvious and very prominent. So they feel that there should be a change. Because of that Arjikar incident, my daughter is also working with SSKM. So I got scared. She also got scared. Now my daughter, the day when that incident happened, the next day she planned, okay, she will leave India. Now she is going to UK.
वोट का अवस्था सही है, उसी को खोलकर पैसा कमाने का जरिया है ये।
आप क्या बोल रहे हो कि कट मनी कहीं और जाता है?
हाँ, कट मनी तो जाता ही है, कालीघाट तो जाता ही है।
तो इसीलिए आपको लग रहा है कि इस बार परिवर्तन का
परिवर्तन पूरा है। यहाँ बोलकर नहीं, ये 100% हम लोग का आम जनता, जो लोकल जनता है, पार्टी के कोई समर्थन नहीं है। वो लोग, हम लोग को कैलकुलेशन किया हुआ 160 से 170 सीट बीजेपी लाएगी।
77 नंबर वार्ड में लगभग 96 से 97% माइनॉरिटी है। अभी पहले क्या था कि ममता बनर्जी इससे पहले वाले विधानसभा चुनाव में लगभग 5 वार्डों से, अपने एरिया से इवन वो हार कर आई थी, और 77 नंबर वार्ड में आके उनको जिताया जाता था। इवन जिताया क्या, ये माइनॉरिटी एरिया, यहाँ पर वोट पक्ष टीएमसी के ही फेवर में ज़्यादा पड़ता था। लेकिन इस बार जबकि आप जानते ही हैं कि इलेक्शन कमीशन का एसआईआर हुआ है, एसआईआर में काफ़ी जो डुप्लीकेट वोटर्स थे या मित्र वोटर्स थे जो जिनका नाम कटअप हुआ है, डिलीटेड हुआ है, उसके बाद यहाँ पर इस बार हो सकता है ममता बनर्जी को वोट में कमी आएगी।
Ridhita, if TMC was thinking that this is going to be a safe seat, Mamata Banerjee won from over 58,000 votes last time around. The voices on ground indicate otherwise. Could it be a tough battle with even a so-called consolidated TMC vote bank, the minority vote bank, according to the people that you spoke to, not completely happy with what she has done?
Absolutely. You see, this constituency has approx of 2 lakh voters, out of which in 2021 we had seen 58,000 were in favor of Mamata Banerjee, and especially the 77 and the 82 wards have always been the minority brass, and they have been the decision maker of these wards. However, out of 56,000 voters in 77 ward, we have seen that 80% votes used to go in favor of Mamata Banerjee. But this time, after SIR happens, people of the area has come out and said that we knew that vote rigging used to happen, dead and duplicate voter, the number that has been slashed now. Those people, TMC's vote banks, their bike behind used to go and vote for Mamata Banerjee, and that used to be the last decision maker, because in 2024 also during the by-polls when TMC backlagged from 5 wards, which is 63, 70, 71, 72 and 74, this seat had actually made Mamata Banerjee bring 80% of votes in total. This time also when we see Abhishek Banerjee, Mamata Banerjee and the state president Subrata Bokshi holding several internal meetings regarding the Bhawanipur constituency, we have heard that Abhishek Banerjee in the internal meeting saying that Bhawanipur should perform as the first boy and should gather and to win by 60,000 of vote margin at least. On the other side, Bhawanipur's constituency BJP is very confident about, because they said that they had taken a lead in 2024 and this time Shubhendu Adhikari may lose Mamata Banerjee and the history of Nandigram may repeat again in Bhawanipur. However, Mamata Banerjee says that in Nandigram what had happened was a load shedding voting, but this time Bhawanipur will perform, and even though Bhawanipur is the eagle's eye, but the entire 294
yes, we
other
just
seats
heard
are
one of the
also
people you spoke to pointing out how approximately 47,000 votes have been in SIR crosshairs. Is that going to be a number that is going to play game changer? We'll all have to look out for that. Thank you for joining us with those details, Ridhita. But if it is Suvendu Adhikari taking on Mamata Banerjee in Bhawanipur, it is his own erstwhile colleague Pavitra Kar who is all set to pose a challenge for Suvendu Adhikari from Nandigram. This is also the first time that Suvendu Adhikari is venturing in a rural constituency. Kar has exuded confidence while speaking to Times. Now, remember, he is known in Bengal as somebody who actually is connected to ground reality, a leader who you would not see in front of mics, speaking to media a lot, but somebody who would remember the name of people in each and every household, somebody who would be there when you are in need. Is this also going to turn the tide against Suvendu, or can he come out trumps? Here's a ground reporter.
নন্দীগ্রামে আমি আমার জন্মভূমি। নন্দীগ্রামের সমস্ত মানুষজন আমার আত্মীয় পরিজন এবং বন্ধু। তার ফলে আমার প্রতিটি অলি গলি সমস্ত গ্রামের মানুষদের সঙ্গে একটা রিলেশন সম্পর্ক আছে। সে জায়গায় কোনো রকম কোনো যত বড়ই মানে যিনি আমার প্রতিদ্বন্দ্বী হয়েছেন তিনি কিংবা তার চেয়েও যদি আরো কেউ আছে, বাংলায় এমন কেউ নেই সংবাদ মাধ্যমের আপনাদের তৈরি করা, কিন্তু আমি মনে করি না হ্যাবিয়েট বলে।
কারণ আপনি এতদিন তার সঙ্গে ছিলেন বলে, আপনি যেহেতু সমস্ত রীতিনীতি রণকৌশল জানেন, তাই
ছিলাম বলে নয়, আমি তো স্বাধীন রাজনীতি করতে চাই, স্বাধীন রাজনীতি করি। আমি নির্দল থেকে নির্বাচিত রাজনৈতিক জীবন শুরু, অর্থাৎ আমার স্বাধীন চেতা। আমি যে কোনো নির্বাচনে দাঁড়িয়েছি, আজ পর্যন্ত কোনো নির্বাচনে আমি হারিনি, আর এটাতেও মানে সর্বোচ্চ ভোট যেটা বলি, সর্বোচ্চ ভোটেই আমি জিতব।
Rajesh, now we have a man who last time around when Shubhendu had managed to defeat Mamta was part of his strategy team. He is in fact credited with leading the whole outsider campaign last time around. As an insider who knows how Shubhendu Adhikari's mind works, how BJP machinery works, is he going to be a big asset for the TMC and is he actually capable of a turnaround in results?
Well, I personally think that this Pavitra Kar is one of the candidates everyone's eyes are on right now. He's the one who has taken the challenge of defeating BJP's giant killer Shubhendu Adhikari. Why I'm considering him as a giant killer? Because he was the one who defeated a sitting chief minister like Mamta Banerjee in the year of 2021 assembly election in the state of West Bengal. And since then, there was a buzz in the political circle of West Bengal that Mamta Banerjee will become candidate again against Shubhendu Adhikari, and he will, after this, Mamta Banerjee will take this challenge of defeating Shubhendu Adhikari again. But this time, Mamta Banerjee said no, and Mamta Banerjee decided to stay back in Bhabanipur only, which is her own home turf. And following which, Mamta Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee have placed so much of trust on this person only. So he has taken this challenge of defeating Shubhendu Adhikari. And when we travel to Nandigram to understand the ground reality, this TMC candidate, Pavitra Kaur, claimed an undefeatable electoral record, untouched electoral record, since he's saying that he has been winning each and every election he has contested so far. So he's much confident. He's confident enough, and
yes,
he's
he
claiming
has fought a lot of elections, but not one of this stature. So his reputation and his strategic skills are really at stake this time around. Thank you for joining us with those details. Times Now will keep tracking those developments, but shifting focus to Assam, where there is a very interesting political battle. We know that the main contenders are the Congress and the BJP, but now listen in to a senior Congress leader saying, no, the battle is between Congress and Congress. Listen in to find out how.
Congress has sharpened its political attack in Assam ahead of the election, projecting Gaurav Gogoi as a face of the party revival while accusing Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma of representing a fake Congress culture. Even former Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel, speaking on Times Now exclusive, raised the issues during his visit in Assam, framed the contest as real Congress versus fake Congress.
हमारे साथ कांग्रेस के वरिष्ठ नेता भूपेश बाघेल जी, सबसे पहले आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे साथ थोड़ा आपका वक्त देने के लिए। भूपेश जी, असम में चुनाव का माहौल है और हमने ये देखा है कि कल एक रैली में हाल ही में हिमंत बिश्वा शर्मा ने बोला है कि एक साइडेड ये चुनाव है, आपका जो भी प्रचार है ये इसका कोई फायदा नहीं है, ये बोल रहा है और बोल रहा है कि जो भी होगा आने वाले दिन पे भाजपा बहुत ही सम्मति के साथ सरकार बनाएगी। आपका क्या कहना है इसमें?
देखिए, आसाम की जनता है वो असली कांग्रेसी को सत्ता सौंपना चाहती है और गौरव गोगोई हमारा चेहरा है। ये टकसाली कांग्रेसी है और नकली कांग्रेसी को सत्ता से बाहर करना चाहते हैं, जैसे हेमंता चले गए, बर्तोलोई चले गए और तुम्हारा भूपेन बोरा चले गए। तो ये सब नकली कांग्रेसी हैं जो चले गए। भाजपा तो लड़ नहीं रही है, नकली कांग्रेसी वर्सेस असली कांग्रेसी। तो असम की जनता है वो असली कांग्रेस को सत्ता सौंपेगी।
Anamika is now joining us for more on this. Anamika, Himanta Biswa Sharma has ensured that actually before bothering about the BJP, even before they could think about a strategy, Himanta has made it sure that Congress is fighting its own internal demons.
Well, see, every new day is a new development in Assam politics, and we have seen the drastic changes in Assam politics now. While from Congress people are joining into in BJP, and from BJP also certain few leaders who are joining into in Congress. But now, presently, we are into in Dispur constituency, which is the most toughest and the power play constituency of Assam itself, and we are into in ground zero. And we will try to talk some of the people what exactly they thing, and even how the prominent political leader Bhupesh Bagal have said that this is a particular election where, like, you know, people know that this is the leader, Congress is the leader now, where they have want to choose Congress only, nothing rather than that. And additionally, on the other hand, Himanta Biswa Sharma have mentioned this is a one-side, election, and it has been cleared, and it has been clear to the people that the particular power, it will come to the BJP itself. And we have certain shops near to my area. I will try to go to those particular shops, and there are some local peoples, and this is from the Dispur constituency. I will try to talk to them that how they are feeling and what is their particular concept for this particular election. भैया आपके पास थोड़ा आना चाहेंगे, इलेक्शन का माहौल है और क्या लगता है आपको कि इस बार सत्ता किसका आएगा? हिमंता बिश्वा
अपना वो बोलने नहीं सकता, जिसका मर्जी उसका दे देंगे वोट।
हिमंता बिश्वा शर्मा को देखना चाहेंगे कि गौरव गोगोई को देखना चाहेंगे?
अभी हम बोलेगा नहीं, अभी वो बाद में हम डिस्कस करेगा, जिसका मन जाएगा उसका ही देगा।
लेकिन आपको नहीं वोट के और ये you have seen that some people are who are not willing to say whom they want to change give cast their vote, but then again they are saying during the time of the election we will just show. We have some other people also, and we have some tea stalls also that we will try to talk to those people also. भैया आपके साथ हम जुड़े हुए हैं और क्या लगता है आने वाला सत्ता में कौन आएगा? हिमंता बिश्वा शर्मा को देखना चाहेंगे या फिर कांग्रेस को देखना चाहेंगे?
बीमा शक्ति को। बीमा शक्ति को।
यहाँ पे किसको देखना चाहते हैं? हिमंता बिश्वा शर्मा को देखना चाहते हैं या फिर
हिमंता?
अच्छा लगता है आपको?
अच्छा लगता है मेरे को।
काम हो रहा है असम में, क्या लगता है आपको?
अच्छा हो रहा है, काम हो रहा है।
So as you have seen that this is a particular area where people want Himanta Biswa Sharma. On the other hand, the prominent political leaders like Bhupesh Bagal, they are saying that they are clear about their particular political updates that for the upcoming election, Gaurav Gogoi and Congress will be the face of the Assam.
All right, Gaurav Gogoi is going to be the face of Congress in Assam, but can he take on a very, very dynamic Himanta Biswa Sharma and his strategic acumen? That is going to be the big question, but yet another fight where Congress perhaps has the highest chance is in Kerala. Today, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge is all set to inaugurate the UDF rally and address a massive public gathering in Kozhikode. The spotlight, however, was initially on Rahul Gandhi, who was scheduled to lead this high-profile event at Kozhikode Beach. But in a sudden development, Rahul Gandhi is not going to be attending because Sonia Gandhi has been hospitalized due to health concerns. We are now going across to my colleague Arpita for more details. Arpita, get us the insider details of this Kozhikode rally. What is the plan now?
Well, in just some time now, Mallikarjun Kharge will be here in Kozhikode Beach. We are at the location where you can see behind me there's a huge crowd that has come here. Now, there is an expectation that they will announce more guarantees, Congress guarantees, because earlier this month when Rahul Gandhi was in Thiruvananthapuram, he had already announced 5 guarantees as part of their UDF manifesto. And now what they are expecting is that when Mallikarjun Kharge will be here, he will top Congress leaders including Revanth Reddy, Ramesh Chanitala, KC Venugopal, all of them will be here. So likely there is a chance that they will announce more guarantees for the UDF. Massive crowd is coming here now to attend this. In fact, as per the actual plan, it was Rahul Gandhi who was supposed to come, but because of the last minute, that Sonia Gandhi is unwell and she is admitted in a hospital. That is why last minute Rahul Gandhi has cancelled his plan.
See how allies at the national level, left and the Congress party of the INDIA bloc, play it out in Kerala. Thank you for joining us with those details, Arpita. Time now for us to take a very quick breather. All the latest updates on the other side.